because I know you were saying that you had an interesting story at hand. Well, I don't know
So
if how one would start it. Go off, man. Do your thing.
So this will be Monday, like a full week Monday when this comes out. So it'll be a full week since it happened. So I'm out on a hike with a friend of mine and we get back to my place. It was roughly around this time. Get back to my place. We get in my place. Nothing's on the wiser. We get all my stuff and we're in my living room. And I literally just look to my right and there's a fucking body in my living room or in my kitchen, pardon me. And we both went,
Like
what the fuck? And I went
a
over,
legit body.
a legit
That's
body. And I
sick.
went over,
That's
rolled
sick.
the dude over, and he was still alive. The first thing I thought was he was dead. So I rolled him over and he was
Okay.
alive. And then I didn't know who the guy was. And so I look up and
No.
he's been into my fridge. He ate he fucked up just a block of cheese. Like he didn't eat it all, but he just like broke it and put it everywhere. He like ripped into a bag of raw hamburger graham. He ate like half a thing of raw hamburger. I'm not even fucking joking you.
No, what the hell?
And he got into the lettuce somehow. He got into some of the lettuce too. But anyways, I don't know who the fuck this guy was. So I rolled him over and I started like smacking him in the face. I'm like, hey, wake up. What the fuck are you doing in my place? And he's just like, what? So immediately I get behind him because I don't want to be in front of him if he pukes or anything like that. You know, better the floor than me in this case. So I fucking get him up and I start walking him towards the door because he's starting to come around and he's like dead weighting me and shit like that. So I start wrestling with him a bit and I got him out around the wall here and then around into the hallway where my front door is. So I got him around there and he's grabbing shit and I'm like popping his arm off and keep rolling him and shit through this thing. And the whole time he's going, you know me. And I'm going, I have no idea who the fuck you are, dude. Why are you in my house? And I'm wrestling towards the door. And at one point he started like dead weight me. And then I put a full Nelson on, like where you get the hands behind the head, like this sort of thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what a full Nelson is. Yeah, G. That's wild.
So I had that on him, and if he had fought me or swung an arm at me at that point, I was going to suplex him onto his fucking head. I was so furious at that point. I was just like, if you want to fight, I'm going to really fuck you up, dude. And I looked to my friend who's just sitting there aghast with her phone. It was like cops. She called the cops like immediately, and I'm still wrestling with this dude to get him towards my front door at least. I don't want him anywhere near my shit or her for that matter. So I'm just trying to keep him towards my front door and like wrestling with him. And then and the only problem was she didn't know my address off by heart, right? She's only been here a few times, so she doesn't know my address. So she's got the Skip the Dishes app open trying to find my address. And then I was just like, yo, hand me the phone. And I put like one hand on the back of his neck and I had the one hand on speakerphone. I'm talking to the cops, giving him my address, giving him my name and all that shit while I'm wrestling with this dude with one arm. And then eventually he was like, oh, yeah, this isn't my place. I was like, yeah, the fuck it isn't. So I unlocked the door and I opened him and he walked out in his own accord. And then I closed the door and I'm still on the phone with the cops. And all of a sudden I heard, the fucking guy took a header down my front stairs. And I'll take pictures and stuff to show you like how he fell. Dude fell down all the stairs. And I'm on the phone with the cops and I heard, I'm like, oh, he just fell down the stairs. And I popped my head out and he's standing on the wall, like just sitting there like this. And so, and so they're like, okay, we'll send a paramedic and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. Hung up with them. And I hear him stirring down there and then not more. And then I hear the door open and close. He beat the cops by 2 minutes. So that's by the time he showed up, he was gone. So I came out and met the cops. I was like, yeah, he's gone. Like, he's gone. And like, yeah. So they went around, searched the whole place and whatnot. My poor upstairs neighbor got woke up by the cops. He was dead asleep. He's not knowing what the fuck's going on. All of a sudden, have you seen some sketchy dude? He's like, what is going on? So all that. And then the paramedic showed up. So then I had to come out and say, hey, guy's not here. And like, what? He's left? I was like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And then I explained he took the header down the stairs and like, he got up and walked away from that. I'm like, yeah, I'm just as amazed and like confused by all this as you are. But yeah, man. So that was my Monday night. Had to come in. Cops took statements and everything. Like the guy was just so drunk. He thought he was like at somebody's place. Cause like he came in, He literally took his sweater off and put it in my fucking
No,
chair over there.
100%. I was gonna say 100%. That's literally what I like, and it sucks that like obviously because you're not expecting to come in and see like a random dude. Obviously that could mess around and shock anybody. But it's like the events that then follow is like I had to just only chalk it up to that's an amazing story. The fact that Buddy was just drunk though, probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like super drunk, thought it was his friend's house. Yeah, saying things was once he's saying things to you like, "What do you, bro? You know who I am?" While drunk or whatever. It's
yeah,
like,
basically,
okay,
like
clearly
he was all
he thought that you were
when I rolled him over.
Yeah. And even the fact that he didn't even take in the fact that he ate raw meat, bro. That right there is a clear indication of him just being fried, baked, drunk, all them types of things. You know what I mean? It's
Something.
like, oh,
Definitely
shit.
drunk.
That's amazing though. That's dope.
But anything else, like nothing else was touched. My laptop and shit was like right here sitting as it is. Like I was uploading the fucking video and nothing was touched. Not even the screen it was on was touched. My PlayStations and all that over there, nothing. He just literally came in and fucking, I don't know how long he was here, ate food, and then
ate food and fell asleep. Bro, he wasn't there to do no harm. Literally thought he was at one of his boys' house.
Which is why I didn't fuck him up which is why I didn't fuck him up or anything like that. Had he swung on me or anything like that, okay, you're
once you say that you're you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like I just look at it like being realistic, like I know that's why when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, that's actually wild to happen. Like you just literally walk into your house with a young lady, you're doing your thing, y'all about to chill, whatever, burn weed, whatever. Yeah. And Buddy's just laying on your couch. And now he's not in a hostile state. Yeah, like he wasn't in no hostile state. He was laying on the couch just chilling.
No, he was passed out on the floor. He wasn't on my couch.
Oh, on the floor. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness.
My fridge door was open and he was face first in front of it.
Okay, wow.
Legit why I thought he was dead, just because of how he was laying. Okay. And my first thought was like he came in and fucking overdosed to my place. Buddy must
have wilded out. Yeah, that would have been scary.
So yeah, we fixed my lock. Like he didn't break in, my lock was shitty. So like we just fixed it and then we got a new deadbolt put on the front door. So yeah, can't get in now, bitches.
That's dope as fuck. There you have it, folks. People just randomly getting ran up. I don't know, bro.
42nd most dangerous city in Canada.
I mean, hey, it's what it turns into, man. It's what it turns into.
I ain't lying when I say that. That's fucking true.
People just be tripping, though. That's the thing, Trent. People just be tripping, like, literally. Whether it's on some type of drugs or whatever. Whether it's just off life. You just got fired from your job. You're not drunk. You're not high. Nothing like that. You're just so mad that you just break into somebody's house and eat some food out their fridge. You just be tripping. Like,
and then just passed out from the fucking...
and just passed right out face first. Blam. Just face slammed right onto the ground. Blam. Yeah, yo, and that's wild. That's wild in that regard. Because it's like, on another note, I'm like, I don't think it'd be a matter of me trying to compare situations in that regard. I was just gonna say it's unfortunate where it's like, because you might not see somebody, like you might not see a home getting broken into per se, like right. Well, actually, shit, bro. Like, I don't know. You might have heard, like, it was like a couple months ago. Actually, I lied. It's like early 2020. Unfortunately, in Toronto, like how like there was a story about like an air conditioner that fell on a small child, and unfortunately killed
it. I heard about that.
Yeah, I saw that. But like, it's just random events like that happen everywhere. Like, but it's kind of close to like it's all in close proximity. You hear, unfortunately, children getting hit with stray bullets and stuff. It's not about like saying, like, I'm saying all that to say, like, it's wild to think that us using statements like we live in the most dangerous city in the world or whatever is nonsense, because it's like, I don't know, man. For you to be able to come home and Buddy just is chilling on your floor, but I'm saying the reason why I said earlier like that he wasn't in a hostile state. I'm saying, granted, he was in a hostile state, not in the sense of like saying like if you would have swung on me, more in the sense of if you would have broke in and not did the whole, like, you knew he was there because obviously you saw him, but your fridge is open, you're friggin' your random food on your table, like, you're thinking to yourself, what the heck? But it's like people are just out here breaking into people's homes, but they're not high and all that. They're just chilling. You know what I mean? And then when you come home, they try to harm you. It's like, yo, what we doing? It just makes you think though too, like, you know, we be having a good ass time, and then it gets ruined because some nonsense like that happens. You know what I mean? Or even
it definitely put like a fright in me for a bit, just because it was like, well, now like I'm compromised, sort of thing. Like my security has been compromised, but that got fixed that night. So all good over here.
I was gonna say, hey, well, depend on who this superhuman. I don't know if you have a steel door or whatever. I'm not sure. I don't know what type of door you have with it, but I'm saying, granted, you have one of them big ass steel doors and shit that with like that weird grayish blue color. You know what I'm talking about? Those weird metals. Anyway, granted, you have one of those motherfuckers. Hey, bro, ain't nothing. Because when I look at it, even in the little apartment where I be staying and shit like that, there's like a device where you slide under your doorknob and slides into the ground that helps like with the stability of the door. Granted, somebody was trying to like actually kick it
down, sort of thing.
Well, it's actually on an angle, on some fucking on some physics type ish.
Oh, okay.
On some just gravity physics. Once you slide the like, it's like almost like a U-shaped hook that would like I'm by a door anyway. Like a U-shaped hook that like goes underneath the door like this, and like it just plants into the ground.
Yes.
From your inside, though, obviously.
I've seen those before, actually.
It's like, obviously, in my opinion, it's way better than a chain lock, or you know what I mean, or one of those things where it's like, buddy just picked he just picked the bottom lock, but now how's he gonna get past the chain lock? If he really wants to get in there, he kick slam that chain lock open so fast, just in the sense because they're not super strong, right? Exactly. But I'm just saying, tell me the theme of this episode is gonna be B&Es out this month. just B&Es and shit.
Hey man, I know a lot, and I'm not going to say it on the podcast. I'm not going to incriminate.
No, of course not. Of course not, bro. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is in the sense of just experiences where that type of stuff happens. Because on some real stuff, it's like it's unfortunate when you have to experience that type of stuff, obviously. But even looking a little deeper, where it's like, granted, yours might have been like a guy on some drugs or some drunken excursion or whatever the case is, but the motherfuckers who's trying to be out here tactical, my G, those dudes are the ones that truly kind of worry me. Because if you can pick my lock, get into my crib, close the door behind you, lock the door, don't touch nothing. You waiting in my bathroom, in the bathtub with the curtain closed. And when I go to go pee or some shit, take a piss, damn, this motherfucker kicked me in my chest out the shower and shit. My whole dick's out. Like, what the hell? What we doing? You know what I mean? Just it's not about being graphic, but it's like they don't give a shit, bro.
A lock only keeps out an honest person.
Hey.
So there you go.
Okay. That's what it turns into. And how many people on a percentage wise would you put in that quote unquote honest category? If you had to take a guess. Let me say if you had to take a guess.
I don't know, man. A lot more than before COVID, I'll say that. Because these times making people desperate, right?
Oh yeah, bro. You obviously know what it is. Bro, we have all types of I don't know if you've seen it, but we have all types of Doug Ford and all that shit talking about how there's lockdowns, and if we catch you out and you're not going somewhere essential, it's the law. $750 ticket. We're giving police we're upping police's power and all that other bullshit. It's like, bro, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what are we doing, bro? Like we just are we moving into martial law? Is that basically what's happening? Like in our small, like on some in the small roundabout way, maybe not the most extreme version of it, but it's like you're gonna. I don't know, bro. And they ain't about no conspiracy. It's like, yo, it's actually happening in front of our faces. We're not allowed to be. He's telling us straight up, bro. If it's not work, groceries, I think there was 4 things, and then like if it's not one of those 4 things, it ain't essential. And it's like, okay. They got videos on YouTube right now of the news people, different news reporters and shit. G, they out here talking all that nonsense. Like, what we doing, bro? I don't know. What's your perspective on this? Since we've been a year and some change in this whole COVID shit.
I'm fucking over it, to say the least, man. Like the fact that the United States right now is more vaccinated than we are should say something very, very alarming about like the way this country is being run and being handled during all this. Sure, we had it all handled well and good last year, but this year. Everything's changed. Things are getting like a lot hotter and all this nonsense happening now. The only thing I've seen today that was like a little bit of a glimmer of hope, so many like police departments in like Toronto, Waterloo, Guelph, and a few others said, yeah, the thing's out there, but we are not going to go about doing this. Like, we're not going to go just do random searches. We got better things to do than that. So Whether they stick to that or not, who knows? And I know the cops around here probably don't give a flying fuck about, people. I know they don't. So, like, I don't know what to say, man. We'll have to wait. It's just literally this whole 2020 and now into this fucking year. It's all been wait and see. Like, especially right now. Like, yeah, man.
Facts, man. Facts. But that's what it is too. Like, even looking a little deeper on your perspective, where it's like we've been given like two choices. Like, we've been handled with like inappropriate care, like in the sense of the general public or people who care to care, like the people who genuinely care to care. Like, oh, I want to listen to the government and stay home and be cooped up, and I won't even open my windows to get fresh air. I'm gonna stay in my same CO2 for a million years and then eventually pass out and just perish. I'm gonna be antisocial. I'm gonna friggin' think about it though. If you were to genuinely stay in one's house, like especially like how most people might be kicking it in apartments in places like Toronto and shit, it's just you there. Nobody, like, yeah, you might be able to FaceTime your people or whatever, but nobody's coming over. All that.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, man. But that's what it turns into. Yeah, it can make you want to be angry, different things like that. I don't know.
It all depends on your mindset with it. Like, honestly, my mindset right now is not like it was last year. Because if we had been talking about this last year at this time, I would have telling you like I'm just getting crazier and I'm getting stronger and I'm getting like reading. I was doing all the right things, and now I'm so burnt out by all this shit. It's just like I should be doing the right things right now, but like I'm not. So I'm just just schlepping it through the days, trying to figure out one thing to the next, basically. But it is what it is, frankly. Like,
I feel you.
What else are you gonna do, man? Like, I can't go to the fucking play wall ball now because they close basketball courts and shit like that. So like, I can go hiking, maybe if I don't get caught walking from here to the fucking bush.
Exactly.
But like,
exactly, right?
I don't know, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. That's all I have to say. Like, we deserve better. Our province deserves better, and our country deserves better. But whether or not that's ever going to happen in our lifetimes remains to be seen. As sad as that sounds.
No, but that's the thing. It's like, it's kind of, I'll say it like this. Granted, we have all types of millions of dollars to allocate to these things now, and different types of bailing out different companies and different things of that nature. Granted, we have all these resources now. Granted, if this pandemic did not happen, why weren't any of these resources being allocated to different, whether it's education, whether it's whatever?
Healthcare,
I only ask the question, bro, all that type of shit. That it's like, and I get it. One might say, "Oh, well, Graham, what do you mean? They're just writing big ass checks and putting themselves in more and more debt." Yes, they could have done that earlier, but this is obviously a dire need. Well, I'll look at it like this: like, I don't know if we have any types of preventative measures. I don't know if there's any types of pandemic crews or anything like that were put in place before this happened. I don't know if scientists ever thought that, unfortunately, quote unquote SARS or whatever situation round number 2 could happen again. I don't know what their thoughts were. I'm just asking the questions because it's like, I feel like at this point, people are just expressing what they want to make their plan go how it's supposed to go. And that might sound crazy, but I feel like that's the case. I feel like that's the case. Like,
there's 4 corporations who've had secret fucking meetings with like the Trudeau government and stuff like that to point out. Let me hold on. I got to bring this up. So just to be accurate with this.
100%. Yeah, man. I mean, while you're looking for that article, all I'm saying is, if we're gonna mess around and keep on pushing this, everyone has to get vaccinated, or everyone has to do this, or everyone has to do that, and you're kind of like trying to move us and steer us and eventually coerce us into, well, if you don't have the vaccine, you're not traveling. Well, if you don't have the vaccine, you're not getting your license renewed. If you don't have the vaccine, you're not getting your passport renewed. If you don't have, and then you're thinking to yourself like, oh my, so you guys are going to put it where people have to quote unquote get vaccinated. And it's like, what happens if you feel like your immune system is what it is? You don't want to take something that's unfortunately not proven, not tested. Mm-hmm. I mean, we can say that it's tested, but I'm saying, we've done clinical trials since April of 2020. Okay, cool. So it's been a year. Cool. Aren't vaccines supposed to be put out after like 10, maybe 15 years of research, I'm not sure. I would assume more. We're dealing with people's lives here. I would assume more, especially if we're gonna mass produce this. Like, I don't know, Trent. But please,
I don't know.
if you have your
Everyone
article,
I've
please.
heard got vaccinated so far has been fine. They had like maybe a day where they felt like just a bit sick, but that's about it. And that's about it. But who knows? Like, my opinion on it is
but it's
like,
just unfortunate to the few cases who have passed from the vaccine, or at least assume they presume it as the vaccine, because it's like they take it and then unfortunately a few days later they perish. And you and one could say, oh well, it could be something 100% not related, but at the same time, a big chance that there's something that's not related. But sorry, continue.
So I found the article, so I'll just read the headline.
That article, or okay, yeah, go in.
So I'll just read the headline. This gives it all away, but you can still, I'll put the link in the description because, frankly, I think it's important. Oil lobby, Trudeau government formed secretive committee during pandemic. Group created at request of top corporate lobby discussed reducing regulations and creating, quote, opportunities post-pandemic. Take from that what you will.
But, I mean, bro, it's always been about $1 if you want to look at it like that, too. That's the beauty of it. But who controls the money? Where's the money going? That's why even bringing up the little point that we just brought up a little previously. If you have all this money, granted, it's, we're not going in more debt. We actually just have this money to be used for certain situations. Why are our conditions better? And I get it. Like, yeah, we can say, oh, we live in Canada, bro. We have running water, clean water, blah, blah, blah. It's not even about that. I'm talking about
some of us have clean water.
Yeah, some, yeah, I know. Don't get me wrong. It's not everywhere. And that's the thing, what I'm saying. Like, in context, there's obviously different people who have been affected by pipelines, things of that nature, who haven't been tended to because maybe they feel like they're at odds with the government or whatever. These are the horrible things that are happening too. But it's like, this is what I'm saying. Like, socially, why weren't things fixed? If in context, it just takes money to fix. And it's not, throw money at a problem. It's like, nah, bro, we can create so many solutions with money. But from being these to following the money to,
well, two different types of robbery, right? One's got the shotgun, one's got the briefcase.
100%. And
it's all part of the game, though.
And
like Omar Little said.
That's what it is, though. It is.
But like, yeah, I don't know, man. I just try not to. I know, like, it's once you know this stuff and you want to stay informed with all this stuff, but you also got to keep yourself like from going too far with this stuff, especially if it gets you all riled up and whatnot, like it does me. So it's easy for me to OD on the news and OD on politics and shit like that. So I just try
to have like it's not even having like a cap or whatever. I feel you. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not tripping. We don't have to stay on nothing. It's more, in my opinion, it's just more staying informed because I know it's like we can say like 100% that we don't want to like get too overwhelmed with it. And you're right. You want to make sure you don't develop no anxiety or anything like that. Like to have all based off this nonsense. But at the same time, like
especially right now,
you do want to hear what they're saying though. Because if the premier or whatever is the one who's quote unquote like making laws, so to speak, like, oh no, like we're putting this bylaw out and it's happening on Monday, or it's happening on this, or it's happening on that, and he has the final say and all that, like he's the one who's everything Ontario, he runs it, so to speak. It's like, bro, like I don't know, man. It just everything is to be no, we have to take like you have to do this or this. You have to do this or this. It's not really a matter of choice. It's eventually the choice is just taken away. Like granted, no matter. It's not about like, again, it's not about harping on the topic. It's more about just staying informed if we can. But beyond that, bro, like I don't know if you want to go into a situation of, I don't know. Unfortunately, I'll be sometimes super fried in the sense of when we doing our thing. But just in trying to remember, did we speak on DMX last fall?
I don't think I'm not sure if we did, but yeah, I've been playing his fucking music like literally all like before we were doing this. I was playing Fame.
No, I only asked because it's like it's not even about saying like did we speak on it in the sense of trying to remember as if like he's not important. It's about understanding. Unfortunately, though, like the fact that there's so many things on my mind, like I don't. Sometimes you can't remember just off the whim. You can't remember like what you did like 2, 3 days ago. Never mind a week and a half, whatever ago. But anyway, I'm just looking at it from a standpoint of like I respect this man, and it's unfortunate that he had to leave on certain terms. But at the same time, granted, if he was feeling any pain, hopefully he's not feeling that pain anymore. And that's kind of all I have to say on it, man. Your loved ex, mad inspiring, changed hella lives, bro.
We lost a
Granted,
real one, like for real.
granted, if you can hear me, hey, the energy never dies, bro. It's transferred. So I know he out here still just being ex, killing it. Just my opinion, you know. It's all love, man. Prayers and condolences to his family. I hope y'all feel strong and loved at this time, you know. It's hard for anybody to lose. And then there's like multiple other young men, but you know, women. But we're not trying to make it sad. It's just we spotlight. I want to spotlight DMX with Trent because obviously he was super inspiring. But if you have anything you wanted to say, bro, please.
No, like you basically said it all right there, man. It's just going back and listening to his lyrics again. It's just like, man, he was so aggressive and all that, but his lyrics were so positive and whatnot. Like just all about putting in work for the kids, and everything he's doing is like, you know, for this game and whatnot. He wasn't like, it just seemed like that way. And, you know, loving his dogs and whatnot too, which was always a way to win my heart over, being an animal lover like that. So like,
Hey,
he was the man, and we lost a real one. That's all I can say.
hey, bro. But yo, on another note, like I'm not trying to end it like this, but yo, Trigger, yo, we might have to end it on DMX just because yo, it's all love.
We're still alive out here.
My fault. Yeah, my fault. But yo, he out here changing lives. We got full lives, bro. We out here. We gotta live full lives out here. It's all love, Trigger. You already know what it is. And the way I look at it is the best way to do it for me is just be yourself and try not to stress over everything that's happening in life. Just continue to build you. You know what I mean?
Amen.
If you could do that, that'd be amazing, guys. Yo, I'm Graham.
I'm Trent.
And we out here, bro. It's another episode of Ultra Far Talk.